A Planned Parenthood calls it an act of love. The skyrocketing number of vasectomies in the wake of the overturn of Roe v. Wade. The organization reports a 34% increase in the procedure across their Northwest region since June. Last month, Planned Parenthood offices in Missouri even ran mobile vasectomy clinics for uninsured patients. And joining us tonight with a Catholic answer is Dr. Joseph Meaney, president of the National Catholic Bioethics Center. Dr. Meaney, great to be with you as always. A lot to unpack here. But first, I'd like to get your reaction to this headline.
Well, I think it's interesting that Planned Parenthood would be speaking about vasectomies in a very positive light because it treats abortion and the conception of children in a similar way. In other words, pregnancy is considered a huge problem. So if you can prevent it or end it violently, that's what makes Planned Parenthood happy.
And in some cases, I understand Planned Parenthood even offered free vasectomies to some patients. Dr. Meaney, talk to us about the message that sends and the danger there.
Yeah, so unfortunately, vasectomies are the second most common surgical procedure on men in America after circumcision. It's a huge problem. And, from the Catholic perspective, it's a mutilation of healthy organs. So it combines the sin of contraception, birth control, with the sin of mutilation. So it's a very grave offense.
Yeah, and it's touted, at least by Planned Parenthood, as an easy, foolproof procedure. But I know you report it really does have a pretty sinister history as far as the practice of vasectomies goes, even a tie into racism. What more can you tell us about that?
So the original vasectomy procedure was created for prisoners, and the idea was kind of eugenicist, that certain people should not be allowed to reproduce. And so that was done actually at the turn of the 20th century. And then later on, that was kind of moved out into the general population and became extremely popular. What's very sad to see is that this procedure, which was basically developed as a human equivalent to what is done to animals, is now extraordinarily popular, and that Planned Parenthood is one of the leading organizations doing it.
Yeah, and talk to us a little bit more, Dr. Meaney, about what the church teaches about this.
So any form of sterilization is a very serious sin. And the reason for that, of course, is that it's rejecting the gift of life. It's rejecting our own bodies. So, the theology of the body of St. John Paul II was very clear that we're supposed to be a gift to our spouses. We're supposed to give everything to them, and that includes our fertility. And so to treat fertility as if it was an illness and to mutilate perfectly healthy organs is a very grave violation of the moral law.
And I also understand that there's also an element of post-procedure regret with men and wanting to take part in a vasectomy that is reversal. What does the church teach on this? What's its stance on this?
So it is a more complicated procedure. It's much harder to repair than it is to destroy. But something like between 6 and 10% of men who have vasectomies have it reversed. And sometimes the success rates can be fairly high. The Catholic position is that one should try to reverse a vasectomy if it's financially and physically possible to do so. Because again, it's like repairing an error that was made in the past. If it's not possible, then one can simply confess it and say, one regrets that and get rid of the sin. But nonetheless, the possibility of reversal is real, and that should be something contemplated by people.
Dr. Meaney, always great to have you on and sort all this out and get your insights. We really appreciate it.